Welcome back to Science Online class. Good morning, everybody. Right now, we are going to start the chapter number 1, Food and Human Health, and this is for the class 10th. You can see this is for the class 10th, and this is my lecture number 1 for the chapter Food and Human Health class. Okay, you can see. Look here. Chapter number 1, Food and Human Health. Actually, we are going to start, and you can see this is our chapter number 1 for the class 10th. Okay. Right now, see what is there in the chapter. Actually, all the things we are knowing very well. Okay. You can see what is there. Food and human health. We have studied so far so many things about the food in our earlier classes like 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, and we are knowing all the things. Right now, see what is there in the introduction part. Nutrition. After that, nutrients. Already we are knowing. So I am going to start. What is the nutrition actually? Nutrition means what in Hindi? Poshan, posak tattva. So what is the nutrition? Nutrition is a process. Okay. The process of intaking food inside the human body. The process of intaking food inside the human body and the utilization of food for our body. There are two things. How we are taking our food. How? What is the intaking? The way how we are intaking the food particles inside our body and how that food is going to be utilized inside our body. Actually, this particular process is known as nutrition. Nutrition means what? The way how we are intaking the food particles inside our body and how the utilization of food for our body. These two things it is involving under the nutrition. Okay. Definitely there are so many ways. For example, amoeba. Amoeba takes its food with the help of the pseudopodia. Okay, Hydra. For the Hydra, if I am going to talk about, so they are taking their food with the help of tentacles. If I am going to talk about the butterfly, so they have the feeding tube. Okay, same like that we have the hands. With the help of the hands, we take our food particles inside our mouth. And how this food is going to be utilized means ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation. There are so many things that we are knowing it. So this is the nutrition. Right now, what about the nutrients? We all are knowing that what is the nutrients actually. So the food substance, okay, the food substance which are very much necessary for the growth and development of our body, for the repairing the worn out tissues of our body. So this particular important substance which are actually present in the food particles, these are known as the nutrients. Again, I am going to repeat the sentence. Some important substance are available in the food particles, in the food materials, and which are going to be very much important for our body, for the growth of our body, for maintaining the health of our body, so that our body will be free from the diseases. So these all the things, these are coming under the category of the nutrients. When we are going to talk about the nutrients, so there are so many nutrients we have studied so far. For example, carbohydrate, we are knowing that carbohydrate and fats, these are the energy giving food materials. Okay, carbohydrate, it is available in two parts. One is the sugar, one is the starch. All the fruits that we are going to eat, they are containing the sugar. So ultimately, if we are taking the fruits, okay, seasonal fruits, if we are taking, meaning is that we are getting the energy. Means we are taking the carbohydrates. Okay, carbohydrates. What are the main sources of the carbohydrate? All the grains like wheat, maize, rice. Actually, potato. These all the food materials, they contain the carbohydrate, and actually it is a energy giving components. For the daily activities, actually we perform so many daily activities in our routine, like thinking, like running, like jumping, like going here and there. So for all these activities, we actually require energy, and that's why it is our basic requirement that daily we have to include some carbohydrate products in our food particles. Second thing is the protein. Protein is the bodybuilding food. We all are knowing that protein, it is going to be very much important for the growing children. What is the main source of protein? So we talk about the milk, okay, meat, egg, pulses. These all the things, these contain the proteins, and protein is very much necessary. Why it is known as the bodybuilding food? Why? Because it is very much necessary for the development of the muscles, for the development of the bones. Okay. Right now, vitamin is actually the macronutrient. Macro means actually its less quantity is required for the human body. And okay, what is the function of the vitamin? Vitamin is a, you can say vitamin is a protective food. Why? Because it protects the human body from the various kinds of the disease and infections. Okay, and that's why, okay, and they produce the white blood cells inside our body, and that white blood cells, you are knowing that it is the soldier of our human body. Right now, see, if we talk about the minerals are also the macronutrient kind of the things. Very less quantity of it is required for our body. There are different kinds of the minerals, and some of the minerals, these are going to be very much important for us. For example, if I talk about the potassium, if I talk about the sodium, so they are very much important for what? For the so many different functions. Okay, for the so many different functions, metabolic functions of our body. They provide the muscle, they provide the energy to us. And you can say calcium, it is the important because it gives the strength to our bones. If you talk about the iodine, very less quantity of the iodine it is required for us. And why it is important? Because with the deficiency of the vitamin, we suffer from a disease which is known as the mumps. You can say, I have written here, and it is it's in large form, it is known as the goiter disease. So actually we have to study so many deficiency diseases also. So these are coming under the category of nutrients. After that, after the protein, fat, vitamin, minerals, two other things are also important. What are these? One is the roughage and another is the water. We are knowing that water, without water we cannot survive. Why? Because there are so many important functions of the water that also we are going to study in this particular chapter. Okay, water maintain the temperature of our body. Actually, so many nutrients. Actually, our body absorbs the nutrient in the liquid form, and the water dissolves so many desired nutrients with it. And water also removes the waste particles from our body. So there are different kinds of the functions. No need to worry. Right now we are going in the shortcut. So these are all about the nutrients. What is the function of the roughage? Roughage adds the bulk to the food material, and in this way it helps for the proper digestion. Okay, and all the salad, all the green leafy vegetables, and all the raw fruits, actually they contain the roughage, and that roughage it helps for the proper digestion, and it prevents the inconstipation. Okay, it prevents the constipation, kabji you can say. So right now we have talked about each and everything. Right now we have to talk about the balanced diet. That is going to be very much important here. What is the balanced diet? Okay, the diet which contains all kinds of the nutrients, means carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, roughage, minerals, including roughage and minerals, water in the proper amount. The diet which contains all kinds of the nutrients like carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, fats, minerals in a proper amount, with the water and roughage also you can add, and which is very much necessary for the proper growth and development of our human body. So that particular diet, it is known as a balanced diet. We are knowing it. What is the unbalanced diet? So unbalanced diet means the diet wherever all the nutrients, these are not present in a proper, all kinds of the nutrients, whatever we are knowing it like carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, minerals, roughage, these are not present in the proper amount, and you can say unavailability of the balanced diet, it is known as a unbalanced diet. Unavailability of the balanced diet. Unavailability means uplabdh na hona. Unavailability of the balanced diet. Actually, this condition is known as the unbalanced diet. Anyhow, because of the poverty, because we don't have money, otherwise, what kind of the food that we are eating, only some kinds of the nutrients are present there. So such kind of the diet it is going to known as a unbalanced diet. And that unbalanced diet, because of the unbalanced diet, we suffer with the so many kinds of the diseases. That diseases also we have to study in this particular chapter. What is the importance of the balanced diet? That is also one of the major point here. Means what are the benefits? Suppose we are taking the balanced diet, so what are the importance of the balanced diet for our human body? So first thing is that if we are taking the balanced diet, so our body will be free from the various kinds of the diseases. Okay, suppose we are including the balanced diet, okay, in our food particles, so we will not suffer with the so many different kinds of the diseases that we have seen. Number 2 is there, balanced diet keeps our body healthy, fit, strong, active. Very good. Number 3 is there, balanced diet increases the disease resistance power. Balanced diet increases the disease resistance power, and that disease resistance power, actually it is known as a immunity. So directly we can say, if we are including the balanced diet, okay, so it increases our immunity power, and after that our body develops the high resistance to fight with the disease causing germs, you can say. And what is the another important? It keeps our brain healthy and sound. So there are some 3-4 advantages are there of the taking the balanced diet in our food particles. Right now, see what is the malnutrition. What is the malnutrition? Malnutrition, it is the opposite of the nutrition. What is the meaning? Right now we have to see shortage or the excess means extra. Shortage means lack of, shortage or excess of any nutrient. It is, I am not going to talk about the carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, either one nutrient, either more than one nutrient in our food for a long time in our food, it is called the malnutrition. What is the easy definition? Malnutrition means nothing. It indicates the shortage of any kind of the nutrient or the excess of any kind of the nutrient, but for a long time in the diet. What kind of the food that we are taking? So that particular condition, it is known as a malnutrition. And what happens? It actually suppose what kind of the food we are taking, and if the malnutrition kind of the condition is present, okay, for us, suppose we are not including some particular kind of the nutrient in our food particles, so what happens? We will suffer with the malnutrition, and because of the malnutrition, there are so many side effects we can see here and there, and which can affect the human health. What kind of the side effects? For example, it disturbs all kinds of the metabolic functions. It disturbs the metabolic functions of our body. There are so many metabolic functions running here, inside our body, like digestion, like respiration, okay, like you can say secretion of the hormones, like you can say developing, repairing of the some worn out tissues. So there are inside our body, so many kinds of the chemical reaction are always happening, and for the proper nervous system. So for this, all the metabolic functions, actually these are going to be disturbed. Suppose we are not including some particular kind of the nutrient, and after that what happens? Poor condition of the health. Ultimately result is what? Poor condition of the health, and it also invites the various kinds of the diseases. Same thing is there. Suppose we are taking the balanced diet, so we will be free from the different kinds of the diseases and infections. And suppose we are taking the opposite thing, means malnutrition, some particular kind of the nutrient, it is going to be absent in our food particles. So what will happen? Opposite result we will see, means our health, it is not a bad health. We will suffer with the bad health, so many kinds of the diseases, okay, we will suffer with the so many kinds of the diseases, this kinds of the things. It also affects the physically and mentally. Physically means body wise, and mentally means brain wise. Malnutrition affect us physically also, mentally also, and that's why it is the advice is that we should include all kinds of the nutrients in our food material. In short, we can say we should take balanced diet. Balanced and unbalanced food, again same thing is there. Actually what happened in our country like India, in our India, actually the population is more, and what kind of the food particles, okay, means right now also we can say that in our country many of the peoples are there, many of the children are there, those who are not getting the proper food material for 2 times. Otherwise, what kind of the food materials they are getting? Somewhere they are getting only the chapati, but they are not getting the proper kind of the vegetables. So what kind of the food actually they are eating? Sometimes what happens, some kind of the nutrient it is going to be absent in their food particles, and that's why they suffer with the malnutrition. Okay, so unavailability of the balanced food to the people in our country. What is happening? All are eating food, even we are also eating food, no problem, but somewhere we are not knowing that some kinds of the nutrients it is not present in our food particles. And especially if we talk about the poor children, if we talk about the poor families, because they have less source of the income, so sometimes what is available for them, they are just eating. Daily they are eating only the roti, daily they are eating only the pulse dal. They are eating one particular kind of the food particles. Actually they want to eat some other things also, but they are not in a condition to purchase it. For example, some fruits, it is very costly, so they cannot purchase it, and that's why what is happening, they are suffering with the unavailability of the balanced food. And because of that only some kinds of the deficiency diseases. Deficiency diseases means the kinds of the diseases which happen due to the less suppose in our diet, if any particular kind of the nutrient it is going to be absent, So the diseases which happens due to the deficiency of particular nutrient, it is known as the deficiency diseases. So these are the names of the deficiency diseases that I have written on the left hand side of the board. You can see mumps, marasmus, kwashiorkor, mumps, marasmus, kwashiorkor. These are the famous diseases that you can see amongst the children in our India. Okay, and why? Because of the unavailability of the balanced food. What is the mumps here? Mumps means swelling in the neck region, swelling in the neck region, and ultimately it leads to the goiter condition, and it happens because of the deficiency of the iodine. It is a mineral deficiency disease that we can see amongst the mumps. We are also going to study some of the other diseases like marasmus and kwashiorkor. Marasmus and kwashiorkor, these are the protein deficiency disease. In the next time I will tell you, this is also coming next in our chapter. And right now we have to see some vitamins and vitamin deficiency diseases, and why, what is the shortage of the vitamin for that, and what are the symptoms for that particular disease that we have to study. Okay, so that video is going to be little lengthy for you, so that I want to explain you in the next time. Okay, so many things we have talked about so many times. Otherwise, one way you can see vitamin A. I am going to read only. Vitamin A. What is the night blindness? That is the disease. We are knowing it. Poor vision, loss of vision in the night. Second is the thiamine. That is the name of the chemical name of the vitamin B1. Chemical name of the vitamin B1, or shortly you can say vitamin B, but it is not actually vitamin B. There are so many parts of the vitamin B. You can say B1, B2, B3. So you cannot say it is vitamin B. This is the chemical name of vitamin B, thiamine. Deficiency disease, very. Symptoms you can see weak muscles and less energy to work. Number third is there riboflavin. Riboflavin, that is the chemical name of vitamin B2. Riboflavinosis. Riboflavinosis. Table is also given in the book. Table is also given in the book that you can see. Riboflavinosis, that is the chemical name of vitamin B2. Okay. Skin rupture on the mouth and lips. Only you can read, and I am just reading for your understanding. Niacin, that is the chemical name of vitamin B3. Pellagra disease, vitamin deficiency disease, pellagra. Conditions you can say tongue inflammation. Tongue inflammation कहने का मतलब कि tongue ruptures of the tongue. Okay, right now see the next thing, ascorbic acid, very chemical famous name. Chemical name of the vitamin C is ascorbic acid. Sometimes asked in the competition exam. Deficiency disease, you are knowing it, scurvy. Scurvy is directly related to the bleeding gums, rashes on the skin. Vitamin C, it is very important for the skin point of view and for the gums point of view. So that is scurvy, deficiency disease, ascorbic acid, chemical name of the vitamin C. Lastly, chemical name of the vitamin D, it is the calciferol. Calciferol, okay. Deficiency disease, rickets. And you can see what are the symptoms of the disease. Bending of the lax bones. Bending of the lax bones means पांव की जो हड्डियां होती है वो बो शेप की हो जाती है, धनुष के शेप की हो जाती है. So this is the thing. Right now see, we will talk so many new things in the next time, in the next lecture. Till then, thank you so much. All the best.